we have a release date of Valentine's Day. Since it is a rom-com, we felt that that was the most appropriate time to drop it on Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Apple, HBO. It goes on a lot of streaming networks, and I'm very excited for that prospect.
You're watching the Spotlight Network.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we welcome back one of our most inspiring guests, a true Spotlight Network success story. Her name? Maureen Anne Meehan. She is a powerhouse attorney, a judge, author, Ironman triathlete, and marathoner. And Maureen has transformed her life's extraordinary twists into best-selling fiction and now a major motion picture. After her appearance right here on the Spotlight Network, her witty and poignant and empowering book, 60 Dates in 6 Months with a Broken Neck, caught Hollywood's attention and is now a feature film. But that's not all, folks. Following our appearance here on the Spotlight Network and the suggestion that she explore the chilling mystery of the Gilgo Beach serial killer, Maureen crafted a new thriller called Gilgo Beach, a Mary McIntosh novel. It's available for sale, and the film is being eyed, or the book rather, is being eyed for film adaptation. It is a delight to welcome back Maureen. Maureen, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Well, thank you for having me again, Logan. It's such a privilege to be on this platform with you. And yes, you gave me the idea of Gilgo Beach. Within a month, I wrote the thriller and I adapted it this year. It's won all kinds of film festival awards as an adapted script. And now the whole series is being bid on by some major producers and distributors in LA for the entire Mary McIntosh series, but some of them are just interested in just Gilgo Beach or Red Hands or Deputy Dog or DB Cooper. But Gilgo has become my fastest bestseller. The story's fascinating, and I think as you informed me this past year, this case is still for standing trial in New York. So he's in custody. They're having DNA huge battles they haven't even set a trial date. It's probably going to be in 2026 or 2027. And they know they're still discovering bodies. It's a horrible serial killing case.
It's horrible. He was a Long Islander, an architect in New York City. He worked with his daughter. He was, quote unquote, a family man. And apparently, according to prosecutors, murdering prostitutes at an alarming rate. A number of bodies have been found. Like you say, more bodies have been unearthed. You've taken that true story, novelized it a bit, added the Mary McIntosh framework, and crafted a spellbinding book that I can see why it's flying off the shelves, because it's wonderful. Let's talk about 60 Dates in 6 Months with a Broken Neck. The first time I heard of this book, I was like mind blown. I thought it was great. And the movie doesn't disappoint. The trailer is phenomenal. Let's take a look.
John died 10 years ago.
You haven't been on a date in 10 years?
Longer, if you don't count marriage dates.
So it's serious.
We haven't talked about meeting each other's kids yet, but I feel it coming.
Just be careful.
You're not seeing any other people.
And you are. We're in a dating pool.
Yes, of course.
Have you kissed someone else? My dating chapter is closed. He didn't work out.
No. You need to get back out there, Maureen.
No, I'm fine.
You just fall too hard, too fast.
Dating strategy, an experiment.
Ooh.
Oh,
I love it.
Okay, there's 3 categories. Yellow is the bar date. These are hotties, so that means an evening drink. If it's really good, maybe it leads to dinner, or maybe I fake a dental emergency.
That's 100% South American Amazon boa constrictor.
No, don't do that.
Samantha.
Category 2. Okay. The coffee date. These are my maybe men. Whoa. Texting not that much. Their pictures are meh or kind of blurry.
Is it hot out here, or is it just me? Just kidding. Not really.
Category 3, the hiking date.
Yeah, those pictures were taken a few years ago.
These guys are pretty iffy. So even if the date's a total bust, at least I get my steps in.
Hey.
How many dates are you aiming for in this little experiment of yours?
60 dates in 6 months.
Mom, you have a fracture in your neck.
And yet, I rise.
This is really great, Maureen. It must have blown your mind to see your words from the page come to life on the big screen and the process that it takes to do that.
It was. So we immersed, everyone lived with me, cast and crew, for 15 days. And so we all lived together, woke up together, went on location together, came home together, ate dinner in my backyard together every night, recouped from the day, talked about tomorrow, rinse, repeat for 15 days. Long, long shoots. But to see the character who plays me, Caitlin Chesna, bring my life onto screen, at times it was amazing and a kind of cringeworthy to see these terrible dates that I'd been on, like French sushi when we were filming that, and this guy, he has a bite of sushi and then he tries to French kiss her and is like at her favorite sushi place that she's never gone back. Just bringing it all to life was super fun. But also the cemetery scene, I won't lie. I was behind the scenes every day, all day. But that scene, I kind of stayed back by some of the extra actors because I just, saying goodbye to my husband's still a really hard part of my life. It's been 11 years and you would think it gets easier, and it does somewhat. But, so it was my soulmate, my best friend.
Yeah.
So.
And for the folks at home who don't know this, Maureen's love of her life was lost to a disease, I believe cancer, right?
A really rare cancer, salivary gland cancer. Yeah, in 2014. It's been quite some time.
At an untimely age, and that was the genesis of 60 Dates in 6 months. After an appropriate period of mourning, she decided to get back on the saddle, and she discovered all of the phrasiness in dating in this era. A lot different than when you were first dating. Now, a lot of it is swiping and so forth. And a lot of people use old pictures, lie, are fatter than they say, are skinnier than they say, are shorter than they say, are taller than. You got to go through a lot of thick weeds, right, when you're going on online dating?
It's like a smoke and mirrors. I mean, I had a picture of a guy that I was going hiking with. I walked right by him. I didn't even know it was him. He's so much older than the picture that he had sent me. It was like 20 years ago, this photograph. And then I had another guy who was, and fitness is a big part of my life, hiking, skiing, pickleball, golf. So my profile was very clear about fitness. This guy meets me on a hiking trail and he's like super overweight. And I said, well, do you, he said, it's a muscle fat.
Well, I guess his muscle has turned to fat, and I guess that is
Right.
muscle fat, but it's amazing. And a lot of that is captured in the movie.
It
And that
is.
must have been fun for you to see. Obviously, a little exaggerated for comedic purposes.
Sure.
And that's what makes it funny because the guy who shows up for the hiking date is really old. And then the guys that are good looking and the one that any woman who's a mature woman would say, hey, I would love a guy like that. You find out he's a playboy, you
Total
know?
playboy.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them was still married to somebody else who needs to be divorced. And when I finally figured it out, I was kind of new to the dating thing, and I kind of made some rookie mistakes at first about not getting last names and doing background checks. I was like, this guy he's looking for side hustles.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of creeps out there, no doubt, and a lot of people who misrepresent themselves. And you really, portray it in the film and in the book, of course, in a very, approachable, funny, relatable way. And I think that's the magic. I know you've got big news you have a release date for this film now. Tell the folks at home about this.
So we've been so fortunate with partnering with one of the best distribution networks. It's Byron Allen's company, Freestyle Digital Media. And they have been amazing to work with. They're one of the biggest distributors in the US and Canada. And so we have a release date of Valentine's Day. Since it is a rom-com, we felt that that was the most appropriate time to drop it on Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Apple, HBO. It goes on a lot of streaming networks, and I'm very excited for that prospect. But again, what a great company. He's a media mogul. And
He's
his
one of the richest men in America.
He is.
And he took, a decent, entertainment career and
Yeah,
parlayed it into a fortune by buying TV stations all over the country and so forth.
exactly true.
And his
Yeah,
distribution network is wonderful. This film, the production values are wonderful.
thank you.
The acting is wonderful.
Thank you.
What was it like seeing yourself portrayed on the silver screen?
Well, we casted very, very well. And this, I had first choice on who played me.
Mhm.
And she was in the middle of a breakup. She had to move back across country. Her life was chaos. And I'm like, that's perfect. So she brought this to the screen, I felt, in a very genuine way. And the rest of the casting call we had such good talent show up. Hollywood hasn't been as busy in the last several years, and the Palisades fire certainly hasn't helped. So our casting call was excellent. We got some really high-end actors, and they brought it to the screen. So I think the cinematography is great. The I thought our crew was fabulous. They really are. I call them the dream team of a crew. Hardworking, but perfectionists. So our scenes are great. I have four very good friends who own beautiful locate restaurants in Laguna Niguel, Dana Point. They let us film there for free to stay on our budget.
Wow, that's
And
great.
it's been so it's been wonderful for everybody, because a couple of these restaurants are new, so it got them a lot of PR, a lot of signage in the middle, in the movie itself. And yeah, I'm just so proud of the cast and crew. Everyone was in it to win it every single day.
Yeah, I mean, most people who are in acting are in it because they love the craft. So
Yeah,
it's not about money. It's not necessarily about ego. It's about loving the work. And
yeah.
to work for 15 days on a high quality project was great for the actors and great for you. I mean, this was a crash course in movie making that you realize that multiple takes are par for the course, that you do
Yeah.
it again and again and again, that the dialogue is often repeated through a process called looping or ADR later, so it's clear. And it's really quite a process. It's like watching sausage being made, right?
From
And
beginning
what?
to end. My house, we stayed at my house, so the wardrobe is in my garage. It was mostly my wardrobe.
Yeah,
And then all the camera crew, the equipment was all in my garage, and we'd be picking it up if we're going on location. And just the 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 fact that you're living with people that are strangers. My director was very nervous about doing this. He'd never done this before, where immersive filming, and it was very White Lotus like.
yeah,
And I said, listen, this is the budget, so we're gonna have to
right.
stick with it. And we did. We stuck with our budget. We created a fabulous piece, a fabulous film, and
Yeah,
I'm excited for the everyone to see it
yeah.
soon. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be.
absolutely. Absolutely. Do you miss it? Like when you make a movie, it's such a high. It's like going to a party every day. And that's how it was explained to me early on. When
Yeah.
you're cast in a film, it's like you've been invited to a very, very elite party. And it doesn't matter what the budget is. You're still
No.
a privileged group of people that are going to go play dress up for a living today. And
And
that's really, really wonderful.
the last day of filming, I flew to Wyoming, my home state, to see my parents and family and go to the rodeo, etc. And so they stayed at my house one extra day of filming.
Mhm.
And when I came home to an empty home, I felt like my family was missing a big part of my life. These are people I'd lived with for weeks on end, and I really miss them all. I sent them a note on a group text that we'd set up saying, "Hi everyone, I'm back and you're gone." It's like, where'd you go? I miss you.
I
Um,
know.
I really we actually had a screening Monday night.
Hmm.
And so everyone came to one of the restaurants that we filmed in. And so we had, the gang back together Monday night to watch the screening, with excellent feedback, by the way. And it was so fun to see everybody again. It was a lovely little reunion.
Yeah. I would love to see this perhaps get picked up by like Hallmark, the Hallmark channel.
Me too.
I think it'd be wonderful for it because it's nothing dirty or,
No,
highly sexual content. It's just
no,
a
no, no.
funny, at times romantic, at times you want to pull your hair out, frustrating rom-com. And
It really
I think
is.
it,
I think it's super relatable for all ages.
Yeah.
And it's because everyone knows somebody who's dating or they are dating. And in this era, it's all these apps and swiping, and it's
Oh
just a
yeah.
whole new world from when, you and I were in that
Yeah,
long
and it's
ago.
very deep. It's very impersonal in many ways. And
Very.
like you said, you don't really know who these people are. It used to be you dated someone, you knew them from school, you knew them from work, you knew them from the neighborhood. They were somebody's cousin or somebody's sister or brother or whatever the case might be. But now they're total strangers
Complete.
that you're meeting in, an intimate setting, whether it's dinner or lunch, or I love the categories that you gave dates, whether it would be a bar date, a dinner date. Talk to me about the categories.
So the categories were, if you are super hot, and this looks like it has some promise to it, some legs, if you will, it was a bar date. If it was iffy, not quite sure about this guy, it was tended to be coffee. If I was really concerned because I didn't think their fitness was what they might have advertised, hiking. So those are the three categories: hiking, coffee, or the dinner date or the bar date. And it made it very funny and very relatable because anyone who's out there dating knows that you get duped by these pictures. People send old pictures, they send stuff that's, or
Yeah,
worse. They
well,
like I
especially now with AI Photoshop, we can
totally.
make, I mean, I imagine that's taken a whole new leap.
There was a guy that wanted me to, he had an alleged sailboat, wanted me to take the Catalina Express to Catalina and have lunch with him. And I said, I thought you had a sailboat. Turns out it was AI,
Amazing, amazing.
right?
Yeah, it's scary.
Like
It's
photoshopped a yacht into his picture.
crazy, crazy. Well,
I
you're
had one
smart
guy
that you're
sit,
careful out there, which you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
be, because it can be a dangerous world as well, which we know from Gilgo Beach. How about that as a segue?
It's
So,
such a segue. I
uh,
mean, here are these women doing what they do, whatever, their profession. And he's out there stalking women in the middle of the night on Long Island and killing them. And
yeah,
it's absolutely horrific story. But like the dating game killer, Rodney O'Calla, same, he was a photographer and he would act like he was going to take women out on model shoots. He killed hundreds of women and took photos of them. And then they found all the photos in a storage locker in Seattle. This man was absolutely bonkers. The Ted
right.
Bundys, who's really charismatic and handsome, same with Rodney O'Calla, the dating game. So you just have to be on your guard at all time. You never know who's around you and what they're doing.
Yeah, it is frightening, and I can see why this story has captured the imaginations of readers. And as far as this becoming a film, at this point, you're going to see what's out there and what kind of offers you get, and whether
Right.
you proceed on turning this into a feature film as well, right?
Right, because I adapted it for script and it's
Mhm.
it's been very, very well received. So I have meetings in a week in LA at the American Film Market with some high-end producers who are very interested in it. They have the script, they've read it, they've read the book, and they just love the story. And of course, the novel is dedicated to you since you
Thank
are
you.
the person who told me about it, and we've done this program so many times. So
Yeah.
you are the dedicated, inspiration to Gilgo Beach, a Mary McIntosh novel.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that very, very much. And I think you're an inspiration to all of our viewers and our readers and our audience and to other writers that, if you believe in your dream, you can make it happen.
Sure.
I think
I
you've done
was
a great, great job with 60 dates in 6 months.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I was just asked to write a documentary novel, so true, so nonfiction on the Palisades fire. So I just finished it last week, and it's called Inferno on the Coast, the
Mm.
Palisades fire. And we're not releasing it until the anniversary, or like maybe 2 days before the anniversary of the Palisades, which is January 7th is when the fire started, of 2025, Burn for Days. So I'm going to go to the Golden Globes DPA gifting suites with that book, and of course the 60 Dates book signed for anyone who's attending the Golden Globes and going through these gifting suites. And we are giving each person who's in attendance a copy of the Palisades Fire book. And then any proceeds from this book will go to the relief fund. This is not a for-profit scenario. This is absolutely to help with the relief fund.
For the folks at home who aren't familiar with the Palisades Fire, give them a brief overview of what the Palisades Fire was about.
So on January 1st, a man who was an Uber driver set a fire up in the Palisades area, which is a very elite, beautiful coastal area of Los Angeles. And they got the fire out, but unbeknownst to the fire team, Cal Fire, it was smoldering underground. And the winds came up, Santa Ana hot winds came up on January 7th. It ignited the fire and it burned for days. It was billions and billions of dollars, like hundreds of billions of dollars of loss. There was loss of life, a loss of wildlife, a big loss of property, people's homes and businesses. So it's still a mess. The cleanup is ongoing. It's going to take years, maybe decades, for some people to even rebuild. A lot of people were underinsured for the value of these homes, this insurance battles. I mean, it's just a nightmare. And so a lot of displacement. A lot of people lost their homes or were displaced. And so it was a terrible, terrible tragedy in Los Angeles in the beginning of this year. And so we're taking it to bring awareness to it. I honor the unsung heroes, people, the fire, all the battalions that didn't sleep for days on end, and those people who donated money and water so that these people could be fed and nourished during this fire. So the unsung heroes are part of the story. I think it's an important part. Some of the victims who lost their homes are named and explained what happened, or Ashton Kutcher, whose house was in Beverly Hills, not affected, went to his buddy's house on the Palisades and sat there and helped him hose down the roof, the foliage. There was heroes that didn't advertise it. They were just doing what a friend would do. And there's a lot of those stories in this novel.
Amazing. We're glad you're turning your attention to that because it needs as much emphasis and highlights as possible. Folks, Valentine's Day is the big day. That's when Maureen's movie starts streaming on all of the major streaming platforms. And it is 60 dates in 6 months with a broken neck. You're going to love it. And you'll find it inspiring, entertaining, and laugh out loud funny at times as well. Maureen, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you, Logan. It's been my privilege and my pleasure, as usual.
It's been a great privilege and pleasure to have you on the show once again. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time until next time on Spotlight.